Ako urong dito, and I said I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Good afternoon, Malacanang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo.
Good afternoon. Oh, by the way, last night the president visited the wake of the late Henry C. at about past 10 p.m. He stayed there for 2 hours. He paid his last respects to the late tycoon and talked with the siblings headed by Mrs. Tessie C. Coson. He was accompanied by our good friend Bongo, who is headed obviously for the Senate. From what I observed from the response he was getting from the people there, just like Francis Tolentino, he's also receiving warm reception. Yes, Joseph.
Sir, ano ba yan? Slate na ba ni Presidente yan?
Wala naman siya sinabi. But what I know is he is endorsing them every time he has an opportunity to do so.
Anybody else, sir?
So far, yun lang narinig ko mga pangalan.
Sino ba po?
Si Bongo, Francis Tolentino, and the former PNP chief, De La Rosa.
Will the President will disclose, or will he have like a personal slate that he will campaign for?
None that I know of as of this time.
Yan.
As of this time.
As of
None
this-
that I know of.
Because it's too early. Campaign period is February pa.
Siguro. Hindi natin alam.
May follow-up? Ina.
No, because sir, there's a report that came out saying that the president will be coming out with a slate which he is calling the do it list. Can you confirm that?
Wala pa akong alam. I have not received the info yet.
But his options, of course, are to come up with his own or also adopt his party's slate. Could be Hugpong or PDP, which
Well, it's
Is
his
he-
call. Depende kung anong gusto niya.
hindi ba sir dapat automatic din po na that he will carry his party's slate?
Yun ang logical consequence. But this president is someone you cannot predict.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, may follow-up? Other issue? Other issue? Wala.
Tapos na?
Nestor.
Wala ko tapos.
Sir, Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
The President mentioned in his speech last Friday that he hinted at a possible shift in approach to amending the Constitution, saying that he might just opt to seek a revision of its economic provisions. So what is now the position of the President as far as his push for or advocacy of pushing for federalism?
Well, you know, the president is a very creative person. If he feels that one method is not practical or cannot be realized, he goes to another mode. What is important to him is certain provisions in the Constitution must be amended. And that is the judgment call of the Congress.
Does this mean that he is abandoning his push for federalism, sir?
Not necessarily. He was just expressing an idea. Well, it depends how members of Congress would take it.
What made the President think, sir, that it's very difficult for his government or for this administration to pass federalism or to push federalism, considering he has many allies in Senate and in the lower house?
Perhaps what he is saying is that it takes too long for Congress to act on it. You must remember that he has been advocating for a revision of the Constitution at the inception of his presidency. And Congress know that or knew that. But Congress hasn't taken serious moves to make it a realization.
RJ?
Sir, is the president's change of mind, is it not because of he realized that Congress is not supportive of CONCOM's draft on federal constitution?
Could be. He's expressing an idea. As he tells us, he's fond of shaking the trees. So maybe he wants reaction from those who would want to respond to his idea.
Follow up, Ina. And then Bernadette.
Just one. Can you give us, sir, maybe details on what economic provisions he may consider or he wants amended?
He mentioned during the campaign about the entry of foreign investments. There is so much restriction. He wants to liberalize that.
What else, sir? Meron pa po ba?
That's what I have been hearing during the electoral campaign.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Bernadette.
Sir, did the President mention any particular sector po that he wants to liberalize po?
Yun na nga, yung sa foreign entry.
Yes, yes. But what particular industries or...
Wala naman siyang binanggit.
Okay. But sir, does this mean po that the President is not happy with the turnout of the House draft charter po, particularly the Arroyo sponsored draft constitution po?
He didn't say so, but what he wants is that the Constitution be amended the soonest.
So, ibig sabihin, sir, the President has lowered his sights po regarding his push for federalism po?
Hindi naman. Gusto niya ngang madaliin na eh. Pero he's not alone. It's Congress. Congress has to do something about it too.
So, sir, is the President expecting the revival of federalism push after the elections po, sir?
I think so, yes.
So, is the elections getting in the way for Congress po to act on it po?
Now we have to ask Congress why it's moving slow.
Thank you, sir.
Ace Romero.
SEC, given the recent realities, the delay in the budget, the issues about the present draft, how optimistic is Malacanang that Congress will pass federalism within the President's term?
Well, it is. The President is optimistic that it will because he knows that federalism will help the development of this country. It's a matter of, I think, time on the part of Congress to do it.
So you think federalism should be an election issue during the midterm polls?
Whether or not that will be an issue will depend on the candidates themselves. They will raise it as an issue.
Do you want to hear debates about federalism during the campaign?
Come again?
Do you want to hear debates and discussions about federalism during the
Me?
campaign, the Malacanang?
Well, the palace cannot have control on the issues that will be raised by any candidate running for the Senate. So it will just wait for these candidates to raise whatever issue they want that the electorate would be interested in.
Thank you, Sec.
Questions, MPC. Nestor.
Sir, but don't you think that the president's statement saying that he is now open to just a revision of the economic provision affect his push for federalism?
No, not really. Maybe what he's just saying is, siguro unahin nyo to. Kung ayaw nyo madali ng federalism, di unahin nyo to. But the federalism idea of the president remains. Will always be there because he believes in it.
MPC? Other issue.
And now that you mentioned about federalism, I talked with MNLF Chairman Nur Miswari some time ago, and also Governor former Governor Sakur Tan, who presently are not really opposing BOL, but they feel that federalism to them is much better than the BOL.
MPC. Questions?
Joseph.
Joseph?
Sir, do you have a 9-year-old apo?
Oh, now that you mentioned about happy birthday to my granddaughter Julia.
Perfect.
It's his birthday
How
today.
old is she, sir?
1 year old.
1 year old?
Yes.
So in 8 years' time, sir, she can be charged under the juvenile. She may be able to be, she may face in 8 years' time under the law.
Not
that is
under the
being-
law.
Under the bill.
Under the proposed bill.
Proposed bill. Do you agree with the age?
You know, I think from the point of view of the president, the law presently is being used by the criminals to use the children. So to my mind, he wants that amended to protect the children. But apparently, those opposing it don't see it that way. Mali yata ang tingin nila. Kaya nga gusto ni Presidente yan, to protect the children because they're being used. Because if you have a law that will criminalize this particular age bracket, hindi na gagamitin ng mga kriminal yan kasi useless pala. They're using them now kasi alam nilang free, they can get out. Yun ang purpose ni Presidente.
He didn't mention any age bracket, right? The president. He just said that 15 is probably too high.
Yes, kasi from the experience of the PNP, ang mga ginagamit ngayon, mga 10 years old, pati 9 nga, di ba? Yung latest na kuha ng PDEA, 9 years old, up to 12.
Do you think 9 is too young?
Depende yan kasi. Sometimes 9 years old, iba ang discretion. Like my 3-year-old granddaughter last year. Iba ang mga sagot niya sa akin. Like for instance, my 3-year-old granddaughter Pia, she was alone in the room. And when I went inside, I told her, "Oh Pia, why are you alone? Where is everybody else?" And my granddaughter at that age, even without looking at me, said, "Grandpa, it's nice to be alone." Can you imagine that? 3-year-old?
Is she contemplating committing
Ibig
crimes?
sabihin,
sir?
iba, depende siguro sa 9-year-old eh. Iba na ang panahon ngayon. Because of modern technology, parang ang bibilis nilang...
Is she contemplating committing a crime? sir? Perhaps? At that age?
Maybe she's contemplating of eradicating crime like the president.
So you prefer 9? You're okay with 9?
Depende. There's so many proposed bills. Hindi mo na may 9, may 10, may 11.
Why not 5? I mean, just the first
Hindi mo
idea.
siya 5 masyado lang. Hindi pa mga... Siguro tama. Pero sa akin, pwede na 9.
Why, sir?
Considering nga the technology, yung 9 parang equivalent na to 12, 15 years old eh. May discernment na eh.
May discernment na.
May discernment. Kasi nga sa criminal law, pag may discernment ka na, you know what is bad and what is good, may problema ka sa batas. You will be accountable.
Sir, but there's an article, no? It said that based on our statistics, PNP, there's only like less than 2% of all the crimes are committed by minor.
Siguro yung statistics nila, hindi nakakita yung ibang nangyayari. You must remember na yung statistics is limited to certain respondents, certain
This is
data.
PNP, official data, sir.
Kahit na official data, hindi naman lahat malalaman nila. Ang dami hindi nagre-report. Di ba? Nalalaman lang ng mga PNP na ginamit kung nahuli nila. Ay yung mga hindi nahuli. O di wala yun sa survey, wala yun sa statistics.
So just to pick your brain a little bit more, you said kanina na
You were picking my brain? I didn't know that.
so it's not
Anyway.
picking your brain yet,
Oh.
huh? Okay. Anyway, sir, how is this going to deter again The use of minors?
It will deter the criminals from using the minors because it's useless for them to do that kasi magiging kakaroon ng criminal responsibility. Right now, they're bold in doing it kasi alam nila, lilibre, magagamit uli nila, paggamit ng paggamit. Kasi, marirelease lang. Yung gagamitin mo na naman. Re-release na naman nila. Okay, I think the law is geared towards the protection of the minors rather than from the point of view of those opposing it, labag daw sa kanilang interest. I disagree.
Okay, follow up. Darrell?
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, by going by that argument, don't you think that we will be unjustly punishing minors who may not be fully aware of what they're doing or because they are just being manipulated by criminal groups?
Alam mo, our law, pag if they are enacted, meron mga provisions there that will say, kahit na yun ang edad mo, if you did it with discernment, eto magiging penalty mo. If you did not do it with discernment, eto ang gagawin sa'yo, rehabilitation, so forth and so on. Hindi naman absolute eh.
Okay, may follow up.
Henry.
Secretary, what about the liabilities or liability of the parents?
Ay, dapat meron. From the point of view of the President, ang mga parents dapat may liability rin pag pinapabayaan nila yung anak nila o they allow them to be used in criminal activities.
What punishment they
O,
should?
edi kulong. Or maybe they will be deprived of parental custody over the children. Masakit yun. Pag tinanggalan ka ng parental custody sa mga
So
anak.
dapat ikulong din
But
yung
we will leave that to the lawmakers because hindi naman...
pero from the point of view of the spokesperson and the lawyer, dapat ikulong din yung mga magulang na nagpapabaya sa mga
Oh,
anak.
definitely. Ako, I'm all for that. Personally, as a citizen of this country, parents should be accountable for their children. Lalo na mga bata pa, not when they're already of age.
Is that the palace statement or your personal statement?
No, even I think the president, kasi he did it during his stint as mayor. Pinakukulong niya yung... Remember, I remember telling us during campaign when he was president, may nakita daw siya mga bata na natutulog sa ilalim ng sasakyan. Pinahuli niya yung mga magulang. Pinakulong niya.
So can we say na sa news that this is a palace statement, that the parent should be jailed for allowing...
Well, let's
their-
just say that given the action of the president as mayor, I think he is open to making the parents accountable for the criminal acts of the children. If the law says that they can be criminally accountable. Because right now, hindi pa pwede.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, Ina?
Sir, what is the President or Malacanang's basis why it is supporting this measure, which again specifically lowers it to the age of 9? Because you were saying earlier, di ba, you think mayroon ng discernment yung bata. UNICEF, however, is saying that the brain of a child only matures at around 16 years old, and the group is also asking if lawmakers would insist that pag 9 meron ng discernment, bakit ang pagpapakasal, they have to do this 18?
The theory of the president is this. The present criminals are the very minors that were used by the criminals. The present criminals ngayon, yung mga bata, in other words, lumaki na sila na gano'n ang ginagawa nila sa krimen. Kasi nga palagi silang nare-release eh. Nahuhuli sila, i-release, so they commit another crime, hanggang nasanay na sila mag-commit ng crime. Kaya, yan ang mga bagong kriminal, bagong henerasyon ng kriminal. Kaya he wants to protect them na nga. That's why he calls the Pangilinan law stupid law. Because it created a generation of criminals.
MPC, questions? Other issue?
Sir, just just to clarify, because the question really is why 9, not 12, or not, why 9? Is there a medical, I don't know, a study that would make you believe that 9 is talagang may discernment na yung bata? Paano po ba?
Siguro yun ang based on the statistics of the PNP. And as I said earlier, considering the modern technology, mas yung ganong edad mas marami nang alam kaysa yung 10 years ago.
Questions? May follow-up? Other issue na? Okay na? Joseph?
From a lolo's perspective, sir, hindi talaga siya too young, yung 9?
Aling 9?
9, hindi ba siya too young? I mean, can you imagine a kid going to jail because a criminal...
As I said, it doesn't
syndicate
have to be
used-
going to jail naman
Ay, yeah, sa
Kasi
bahay
may
pangarap.
depende sa provisions ng batas.
Bahay pangarap.
Kasi depende. Kahit na may edad na 9, halimbawa, merong palaging kulatilya If he or she did it with discretion, etong para sa kanya. Pag hindi, eto naman yung sa kanya. So the lawmakers will make a distinction.
Yeah, but under the bill, sir, to be fair, after 18 siya, i-commit sa regular jail if found guilty, no? But do you think let's take a case, for example, a theoretical case of a kid, 9-year-old kid, that's being used by a drug syndicate to be a courier, no?
Or by a
Agree
parent,
yung
by a
bata.
parent.
Halimbawa, si Pia, no? Yung apo mo. Biglang nautusan. And then she followed because she didn't know any better, right?
She will know.
No, I mean, assuming, sir,
My PS so intelligent. She will definitely know.
So, for example, a 9-year-old
Baka
being
sagutin
used
ka
by
niya,
a drug
excuse
syndicate.
me, Tito Joseph.
I'm not the drug courier. So, sir, anyway, theoretically, no, let's test the idea. A 9-year-old kid was asked by a syndicate, for example, a small-time, drug runner in the barangay, no? Padala mo siya. Ano po ito? Candy. And she does it, no? And then she gets arrested. 9 years old. It's not her fault, is it?
Depende. Siyempre, depende. If the 9-year-old is intelligent enough and smart enough, siya ano ba ito? Dadalhin ko. If you can prove na alam niya na it's an illegal item, o di may discernment na siya.
So still, that justifies
Depende pa rin
that.
sa depende sa circumstances surrounding a particular incident. Hindi naman ganun ang batas. Tinitingnan pa rin ang batas. Ano ba? You cannot just prosecute, or you can prosecute, but it depends on the evidence.
So, ang point of contention sa discernment. during
Yeah,
trial.
discernment palagi.
But the assumption of the law is that they
Kahit
are.
na even the present law, may discernment palaging pinag-uusapan
But
pa
isn't
rin
the
15
assumption
years
of the
old.
law?
Ha?
But isn't the assumption of the law the 9-year-old has the discernment to commit
No.
crime, so therefore we can prosecute?
Depende yun sa batas mismo. And most likely, I don't think na ilalagay nila yun. Kasi yung present law natin, kahit yung 15 na sinasabi, depende pa rin kung he did it with discernment. Ibababa lang siguro nila yun, pero the certain same provisions. May kulatilya.
Yeah, can I just get your comment on what the Foreign Affairs Secretary said regarding that, sir? Because he tweeted over the weekend, no? I'm just trying to find it. But because this is a secretary talking about that. And I quote, "Children can commit crimes, but lowering the age when they can be jailed at 9 will have pedophiles panting anxiously for the day they can call prison guards for takeout kids for sodomy. That is the only motivation for lowering the age of criminality to 9. Your comment, please.
Well, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs made that statement. He has reasons to believe in what he says. So I'll leave it at that.
That's all. Thank you.
Darrell?
Yes. Hi, sir. There's this March 2017 Pulse Asia survey wherein Filipinos were, the respondents were asked, only 9% agree that 9 years old should be the minimum age of criminal responsibility, while 15 years old, 55% of the respondents. So, by pushing this proposal, would the president or the Congress, go against the opinion of the Filipinos?
That's the call of Congress. It's the Congress that will make the law. The President did not say naman na particular na, wala siyang sinasabi. Just lower it. So depende na yun. We will not question the wisdom of the lawmakers. Nasa kanila na yun.
Okay. Joseph, use the microphone, please.
That's why we're trying to ascertain where the palace is. Because the president naman didn't say specifically na 9 or 10.
Yeah.
No? At this point, that's why we're asking, do you think that the president is okay with 9? Because probably too young.
As I said again, depending nga sa discernment yun. Kahit na 9, kung may discernment, may problema ka na. Alam mo na ng bata.
Si presidente kaya okay sa 9.
Ano na?
Si presidente.
I'll ask him para sigurado.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. But right now,
Basta gusto niya i-lower.
lower.
Yun lang gusto niya.
Lower but not 9.
Basta yun ang
Not
sabi
yet.
niya, i-lower. Tatanungin natin para mas eksakto. I'll issue a statement.
Okay, MPC, wala nang tanong. RJ?
RJ and the riots.
Sir, update on the bill forming housing department which was transmitted to the palace on January 16. Meron na po
Wala
ba,
pa
sir?
Wala pa kaming info. No feedback yet.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. MPC, wala nang tanong. Okay na? Okay na. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson
Thank
Salvador
you.
Panelo. Thank you, Malacanang Press Corps. Back to main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.